You're welcome to DBA TV, where we discuss everything international trade. In this series, you are going to be learning about what each of the Nigerian states have to offer as far as export is concerned. You know, I have maintained that Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars and that they can be self-sufficient, but you know, because the number of governors comes in with not the intention of generating income, but with the intention of sharing the money. But in this particular episode, we have put together a series of video for all the Nigerian states from Abia to Zamfara, and this will enable the new governors that are coming in or the new administration in different states of the country to be able to take a cue from what we've shared in this video, which, by the way, covers the peculiarity of each state apart from the preamble. It talks about the profile of the profit, of the debt and income of the state. It talks about the potential of the state. It talks about the purchaser of the product the state have to offer, and of course, the exportable product, and also the proposal we have for the state and how the state can directly profit from exporting raw materials, manufactured goods, solid minerals, and agri commodity. I believe this will be of interest to you and maybe to your governor or to commissioner, whoever it is in your state. Thank you very much for joining. Enjoy yourself as you learn through what maybe your state is what we are looking at today, what Nigerian state have to offer. Happy listening. Thank you very much. So as usual, we have the preamble, which basically talk about why cross-river state must export, what are the peculiarity of this state. We'll try to profile the state in terms of revenue and income. Then we'll look at the potentials of the product that the state is capable of exporting. Then we'll discuss the purchasers of those products. Then I will offer my proposal of what I think the state should be doing to grow export, non-export, and then how the state can profit. How the state can profit from doing export business. Let's go. This is called the nation's paradise, and that is the logo of the state, the nation's paradise. If you look at this state is located in the south region of the country. A very small state with enormous potential. One of the south states that is actually doing a lot in the production of cocoa. So why should this state export? To avoid over-dependence on the federal allocation, to boost the GDP of the state. Export is capable of creating opportunity for SME to grow in the state. Export also helps to reduce dependence on domestic market by the businesses in the state. Through export, this state can earn export proceeds and grow its revenue. This is when it's not sometimes government focus on, state government focus on taxes. But if the people don't have a job, your pay level will be low. So the level of unemployment is not making the government to even get as much tax as you should get in terms of IGR. So the state can do a lot by generating additional revenue from exporting itself. Then farming and rural life become more lucrative because of demand for agri product. It helps also to gain global market share and recognition. Global market share and recognition as a result of the export going out of the state. Export can make a state become home of creativity and innovation. In the bid to compete in the international market, you are forced to innovate. The state also can become, the export can make the state become an industrialization catalyst for the state because of value addition for the export market. Also, job creation opportunity for people in the state, particularly youth. It helps the state to know the value of what the state has as competitive advantage. It helps the state to lead the way for other states to follow. Through export, export makes the state to be independent of the federal government. Export makes the state to have numerous incentives, to enjoy numerous incentives that the country gives to exporters. It helps the state to maximize opportunity, particularly using the indigenous abroad. Poverty eradication in the state because of income, high income from export. The state can actually quit the league of states depending on wasting assets like oil. It can help the state to revive the economy, slow down rural and urban migration, enjoy tax-free opportunity for exporters. The state business people can utilize their idle capacity or excess capacity. It makes the state become viable. Some states in Nigeria are said to be non-viable, but this can make the state become viable. This can make the state to become very, very, very viable. It helps the state to, it's a wealth creation opportunity for the citizens of the state. An export can help the state to export the product it's defined in the state export potential. The state can export can state to yearn for more competitive competition and zeroing on the area of strength. So what do you see in Cross River State? What do you see in Cross River State? Do you see unemployment? Of course, I will show you the data soon. There are unemployment, of course. Do you see poverty? Of course, there are poverty. How about frustration? Of course, there are frustration. I saw a video today. I don't know what happened to the lady. Some people say it's frustration. Somewhere on the island, I think in Ikoyi, strip herself completely, collect the nozzle of petrol from the petrol attendant and was pumping the petrol everywhere. Maybe want the fire to catch fire and burn herself. I mean, frustration all over the land. Huge frustration, I must say. But you know what? You can choose to look for opportunities in farming, just like Donald Duke did in this state. And today, the state is a major producer of cocoa, where it was planted many years ago. Opportunities in mining, and of course, opportunities in the population. Opportunities in the population. All right, what are the peculiarities of Cross River State? Let's go. Cross River was created in 1967. Wow. From the then Eastern region by General Kubu Gowon. The name was changed to Cross River State in 1976. State creation exercise by General Murtala Mohammed regime. Present-day Akwa Ibom was also excised from it in 1987 creation exercise of state by General Ibrahim Babangida. Its capital is in Calabar. Major towns include Calabar, Ikon, Akpankpa, Obubra, Ogoja, Obudu, Obaliku. Cross River is a coastal state in the southeastern Nigeria, now in the South-South region, named after Cross River, which passes through the state. Located in Niger Delta, Cross River occupies 20,156 square kilometers. It shares boundary with many states, boundary with Benue in the north, Enugu, Abia in the west, Cameroon in the east, and in the south by Akwa Ibom, and of course the Atlantic Ocean. And of course the Atlantic Ocean. There are three major languages in this state: Efik, Egbam, and Bekwara. The culture of different people in the state bear striking similarities. Main investment opportunity in the state is in the area of agri, light manufacturing, healthcare, real estate, tourism, energy, and mining. The state has 18 local government, population of about 4 million, tropical savanna and monsoon vegetation, main crop, cocoa, rice, cassava, oil palm, rubber, banana, and pineapple. Solid minerals, limestone, clay, tin, granite, basalt, kaolin, sand, feldspar, and quartzite. There are 3 agricultural zones in this state. Look at this state again. Competitive advantage of this state, 58% forest. Of the 58% of the forest in Nigeria is in this state. 58% of forest in Nigeria is in this state. 58%. Forest. Cocoa processing factory is there. Rice seedling is there. It's a tourist attraction. I was at the Tinapa some years ago, brainchild of Donald. Highest producer of timber in Nigeria. That's why it's the rainforest region. Highest producer of timber. Cross River Garment Factory is the largest garment factory with floor size of 20,000 square meters. So this state have rice milling, garment, and cocoa factory. You see, these 3 things are huge opportunity, but the model the state adopted, I have an issue with it. And I will talk about the reason why I have an issue with it very soon. Land area, 21,000 square kilometers, population about 4 million. Demography, about 2.2 million. Do you notice something? About more than half, about 1.4 is below 14, is about 14 years and below, and 2.27 between 15 and 64. Total unemployment in the state is almost 1 million people. Almost 1 million people. 53.65 unemployment rate. 53.65 unemployment rate. In this state, 683,000 people do nothing. Nothing. Profile. Can you check the IGR of this state? It earned about 16.18 billion in 2020. Federal allocation in that year was 52.2. 52.2. This state have a huge debt. This state has a huge debt. If you use the exchange rate of the government and you check the $192 million dollar debt, $192,500,000 debt, you will notice something. This state is in huge debt. $78 billion plus the 163 billion. That's over 350. About 350 or thereabout. Almost 350 billion. The IGR of the state, look at something. Look at the IGR. 23%. Federal allocation, 52.2. 52.2 federal allocation. You just imagine that. Which is 76% This state cannot survive without sharing. But this state has a huge potential. Look at what budget report said about this state. The People's Paradise, Cross River State, performed creditably well in annual ranking of state fiscal performance, improving from 14 to 8. This was driven likely by increased prioritization of capital expenditure over operating expense, which makes a lot of sense. In a year when 19 other states cut down their investment in capital infrastructure facilities, instead, in a commendable fiscal reform, the state cut down its operating expense, which makes a lot of sense. The biggest cost of the operating expense pruned down was an overhead expense, which many states did not prune down. Year-on-year expenditure grew from 29 to 49 billion. From 29 to 49 billion. The state economic sector received the greatest priority. Nevertheless, there is a need for civil society to remain vigilant and ensure expenditure recorded on paper in the state's audit report are commensurate with the quality and size of new capital infrastructure in the state. Cross River suffered 28.38 decline in IGR because of COVID. That affected almost everybody. Pay accounted for 7.18. Road taxes brought 790. Overall, the state had 19th largest IGR in the country in 2020. The state's 2020 recurrent expenditure structure indicates that Cross Rivers is still over 70% dependent on federal revenue, which is a precarious situation, 76%, considering the known risk of crude oil volatility, on which a significant chunk of federally collected revenue depends. The state needs to explore fiscal options for broadening internal generated revenue, as this could reduce the propensity to fall back on debt once revenue shrinks. Year on year, the state domestic debt burden declined by 22.27%. However, its debt burden in Naira still saw a slight increase by 2.35 to 230 billion in 2019 and 236 in 2020.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agri-processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. To make more inquiries on this program and to register for this program, call or send a WhatsApp message to 0809 124 4449, 0809 124 4449, or send an email to tradeacademy@3timpex.com. From export novice to export legend, helping you to achieve your export dream.
Let's look at the potential of the state. Potential of the state. The state has salted swamp, mangrove forest, oil palm, dense tropical rainforest. Cross River has a significant portion of the national forest resources and supply a sizable enough of country's wood for export and domestic purpose. For export and domestic purpose. Cross River State has a significant portion. The population of Cross River States consists largely of Efik and Ekwe people. Food crops, including yam, cassava, rice, corn, are cultivated. Deep sea fishing and shrimps along the coast are also important. Palm oil, palm kernel, timber, cocoa, rubber are exported from Calabar and its state capital. and which has a major seaport. Industry produce cement, palm oil, asbestos, roofing sheet, pipes, and baking flour. The Mofsin limestone formation with 98% calcium carbonate has one of the best quality of limestone formation in the world. Cement manufacturing is a golden investment in this area. A meat processing factory has been built at the ranch to process and package meat for sales. This factory is available for acquisition by investors. So what this government did was, look at what the government did, which was my issue with the government. The government built a number of factories, but want investors to come and acquire it. One investor come and acquire it. And they've not been able to get the investor the way they want, which for me is a major issue. Durafom Industry is a state government company with a foam manufacturing factory in Nikon. The factory machinery is still a good state of production of foam mattresses and allied products. Cross River State is the highest cassava producing state in country, with an annual output of 3 million tons because of low utilization. Only half of this crop is harvested or utilized. Cross River State is at the forefront in palm oil product or fruits production in the country due to several plantations that abound. The state is a high producer of rubber. Presently, there is no processing factory within the state for rubber. No processing factory within the state for rubber. Cross River State has 12,000 hectares of Melina plantation. This softwood is a major material for production of paper and newsprint. Melina plantation, 12,000 hectares. Cross River State is the second largest producer of cocoa in Nigeria next to Ondo State, producing 20% of the country output. Cross River State is rich in its solid minerals, which is presently likely unexploited. Of note are limestone, barite, salt, clay. Now, so looking at, as small as this state is, the state is heavy, in my opinion, as far as potential of export is concerned. The state produces cocoa. The market size of cocoa is about $9 billion. The state produces palm oil. The market size of palm oil is about $29.3 billion. The state produces rubber. Market size of rubber is about $12 billion. The state produces cocoa that can be used to produce chocolate. Market size of chocolate is $28.6 billion. The state produces rubber. The market for rubber footwear is $29.7 billion. The state produces shrimps, crustaceans. The market for crustacean shrimps and other seafood in the world, apart from fish, is about $24.4 billion. In Africa alone, market for palm oil is $4.28 billion. In Africa alone. In Africa alone. From Egypt to Tanzania to Angola to Kenya to South Africa to Benin Republic to Ghana. If you have to look at the world market, you notice that a major buyer of palm oil is India and China. Then Pakistan, United States, Netherlands, Spain, Egypt, and Kenya. How about rubber? 13.6 billion. Major buyer, China, Malaysia, Japan, India, South Korea. United States is also a major buyer of rubber. Italy, Germany, Spain, Netherlands, Slovakia, Vietnam, Turkey. About just 162 million market in Africa. There is more market outside Africa, $13.6 billion. In Africa, South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tunisia, Mozambique are major markets. How about sunwood? Remember this state houses more than half of the forest of Nigeria. One state, more than half of the forest of the whole country. Just one state. Just one state. More than half of the forest of the country. So Sunwood market in the world, 36.7. Now, remember my what do you call it now? My opinion on this matter is this state, any of this product is a potential export product. The state can choose to export any of them. This state is in huge debt. You know, it appeared to me that common sense is not common. Sincerely, how can a state be this endowed and the state is borrowing so much, whereas the state can be borrowing other states? Because the state can actually export this product to generate itself. For example, look at wood. Processed wood is allowed for export in Nigeria. Processed wood, not the unprocessed. That means you can export processed wood. I mean, when I mean processed, I mean made into furniture. So the state can form an SPV with a business that can produce, use its influence, get necessary approval, get raw material for this company to produce, and the state is exporting it, which is the model issue I have with the model the state is adopting. The state build a factory looking for investors to come and take over. Can you imagine? There are two models I have in mind that I'll be recommending for the state. Unfortunately, the governor meant well, but I don't know who did the research that made them to do this design, the model they work with. Because now, the last time he was talking about they are looking for investors to take over different factories the state has started. Can you imagine? So that means there was no investor at the beginning or what could be the problem? Sunwood demand in Africa is 1.78 billion. Outside the country, 36.7 billion. In Africa, 1.78. Who are the major buyers of Sunwood? China, Japan, Vietnam, United States, United Kingdom, Germany, and Italy, Netherlands, and Austria. Egypt. Which country? Buying in Africa? Egypt, Algeria, South Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, Botswana, Mauritius, Djibouti, Senegal, Sudan, Ethiopia. Newsprint. Remember, this state has a product, a wood that can be used to produce newsprint. That can be used to produce newsprint. And it's $8.48 billion market. $8.48 billion market. Who are those importing newsprint? Even Nigeria is importing newsprint. Germany, Italy, France, United States, India, United Kingdom, Belgium, Poland, Netherlands, China, Mexico, Egypt, Brazil. In Africa, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, the market is $312 million. Sudan, Ghana, Botswana, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia. Then mattress. The state have a factory producing mattress. Do you know the market size for mattress in the world? 18.6. Do you know the size in Africa? 279 million. We don't use a lot of mattress in Africa. We use mats. I sleep on the floor. Germany, France, United Kingdom, Poland, Italy, Netherlands, Switzerland, Belgium, United States, Japan, Canada, South Africa, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, China, Australia. In Africa, South Africa, Botswana, Algeria, Morocco, Angola, Ghana, Sudan, Eswatini, Namibia, Algeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Cameroon. These are the major markets for this product in Africa. For this product in Africa. So, my take on this matter. I'm of the opinion that the state government will have set up those garment factory, those cocoa processing factory, the rice milling factory. He will have set it up with a partnership with a private sector. But in setting it up is such that the private sector is the driver, and that private sector is operating in like a shared facility. Shared facility. So imagine, let's say I want to export chocolate, I want to export garment, I want to export rice, I want to export mattress. Let's say chocolate, for example. I get my raw materials, the major raw materials, other raw material this factory can have it available, but I get my major, which is cocoa. Give them maybe 100 tons of cocoa, or sorry, 10 tons of cocoa. They have already done my packaging materials for me. Having done my packaging material for me, when I bring my raw material, they process the cocoa to chocolate, put it in my packaging material, and I pick it up at the end as a finished product. So that means we will have a lot of businesses, SMEs, with different brand of chocolate and different recipe of chocolate in the country that we cannot begin to market abroad. You know, when you have the way we have it in Nigeria, the SME is involved in production, in harvesting and transport, in primary processing and storage, in secondary processing and storage, in marketing and sales, in logistics, export and distribution. When you have that, we have inefficient value chain operator, low processing capacity and low output, few job creation, low quality and packaging, high cost of production, non-competitive product in the export market because of inefficiency in the process. If you have a large corporate in between, so you have SME1 into farming, so you have a lot of SME farming, creating a lot of jobs. But you have another SME selling and exporting, creating a lot of jobs. But the processing part and packaging part that require a lot of technical quality specification and certification, you get a big company to do that. The company already has the certification, and the company produces a contract manufacturing arrangement with SME2. So SME2 buy from SME1, give it to large corporate who will do the primary processing and storage and secondary processing and packaging. The SME2 is the one doing the marketing and sales and logistics abroad. You know what is great for us? Efficient value chain operator. The state government will not be sitting down today looking for people to come and invest, to come and buy up those factories. Rather, it will stimulate business activity in the state. And the state can easily. Why is the state government even looking for? Why is, sometimes, why is the state government even looking for investors? Rather than using it as a processing center so that SME can bring in and process. So SME do not have to worry about quality specification and packaging. It creates efficient value chain operator, high processing capacity and high output, good quality and packaging, low cost of production and competitive product in the export market, increased job creation, decrease inequality, and decrease insecurity. The level of insecurity in the country is huge and majorly created by unemployment. Majorly created by unemployment, because an idle hand is devil's workshop. In order to export their products, the state government can help the citizen to enter Africa, Europe, and American market. The state government can partner with representatives in this destination to secure market and contract, set up warehouses for pickup by wholesaler at the destination, partner with entity who act as distributor agent of their citizen in the destination, partner with independent agent and distributor at destination, organize and sponsor manufacturers for exhibition in the export market. Here is my proposal to the state government itself on how the state government can profit The state government can now, you see that factory the state government have built. The state government can work with its people, give them guarantee to bring in raw materials, give them guarantee to pay them maybe in 2 months or 3 months. Then the state government, having given its citizen guarantee, when I mean guarantee from a bank, not by mouth, the state government can now, since the factory is there, let them produce, and the state government set up entity abroad to market and sell. As they make money in selling, they pay the farmers and earn the profit for development. For development. So they can partner with SPV in agree ratio. The state can provide fund while the SPV provide expertise. State can form farmers into cooperative across the state. The SPV can form that. The SPV can issue purchase order backed by guarantee to the citizen of the state to bring the cocoa. SPV provide training, input, and support for farmers, provide collection center for farmers, clean and process the product for export, source for buyer, do the documentation and shipment, present document to the buyer's bank for payment, pay the farmers their share, and the balance is shared by the state and the SPV, and the state can use the money for development. I'm basically saying that now that the factory is there, the state government should not be looking for investor. The state government should run the factory, get a private organization to run the factory, give them a part of the profit, let your people bring in the raw materials, process, set up an entity abroad, export as a state, and earn foreign exchange. Look at what the state can do with palm oil. In the model we created, this state can earn as much as 847 billion in income from palm oil, because the state can produce a huge amount of palm oil. A huge amount of palm oil. So the state is capable of making a lot of money. What I don't understand is why the state is not doing it. If the state use half of the arable land to cultivate palm kernel and get palm oil, the yield will be 6.7 million tons. If you process at 90% recovery, 1.3 million metric tons of palm oil. If you are selling at about 1,625 per metric tons, over $1 billion the state, over $2 billion that the state will make from palm oil alone. Because this state is blessed, sincerely. I mean, Cross River is blessed, even though it doesn't have it doesn't have access to oil like other South states, but this state is hugely blessed, and the state is capable of even supporting that state in Nigeria. Unfortunately, this state is in huge debt today. The impact of the suggested model for the state government go beyond generation of revenue via exports. It has a humongous impact on employment generation and increased economic activity in the state. This, in my opinion, is a more effective and efficient and enduring model for diversifying the economy of any state in Nigeria. This model can also be replicated by the federal government at the state level, at the federal level, especially at the federal level, especially for exploitation of solid minerals. All right, thank you very much, everyone. See you next week and have a wonderful weekend, and bye-bye.